All right, today we're going to decode the very blueprint of our habits. And I mean really decode it. We're going to get past all the usual tips and tricks and actually analyze the systems underneath, the stuff that really decides if a habit sticks or just falls apart.
You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You start a new habit with all this incredible enthusiasm, only to watch it fizzle out. So is it a lack of willpower, a failure of character? Well, we're going to argue that it's neither of those things. It's a failure of design.
So to really build our case here, we're going to start on solid ground. We're talking about the principles from bestsellers like James Clear's Atomic Habits. His work on that classic habit loop, the cue, the craving, the response, and the reward. That's our perfect launchpad for a much deeper, data-driven investigation.
Okay, so here's the game plan for this analysis. We'll start with the core paradox. Then I'll introduce you to a professional, 9-point framework to solve it. We'll apply that to a real-world case study, distill 3 golden rules, and finally give you the tools to diagnose your own habits.
So, let's dive into the central mystery. Why are some routines as easy as breathing, while others feel like you're pushing a boulder uphill? The answer isn't willpower. It's hiding in the system's design.
And the force that drives that design is the compounding effect. A tiny 1% improvement each day doesn't just add up, it multiplies. Over a year, that little effort compounds to make you 37 times better. This is the prize we're aiming for, but to get it, this system has to be built right.
So let's be crystal clear about this. If a habit fails, stop blaming yourself. The problem isn't your motivation, it's the architecture of the habit. From here on out, we're going to treat your habits like a system, one that can be analyzed, debugged, and re-engineered for success.
And to do that, we need a professional toolkit. This isn't just about feeling good or trying harder. It's about objective diagnosis. So we're using a 9-point framework that breaks any habit down to its core components.
All right, let's break this framework down. It's got 2 parts. First, we start with the basic 4 from James Clear. The cue that triggers the action, the craving you feel, the response you take, and the reward you get. But to go deeper, to really analyze this, we've added 5 advanced metrics. We look at curiosity. Is the habit genuinely interesting? We analyze its easiness. How resilient is it to disruption? Is it something you feel forced to do? How much time does it take? And finally, volatility. How flexible and adaptable is the habit?
Now, frameworks are just theory, right? The real insights come from applying them to actual data. So now let's run a side-by-side analysis of a successful habit versus one that completely failed.
Our case study subjects are 2 habits that look really similar on the surface. The successful one, regular golf practice at a range. The failed one, daily practice on an indoor putter mat. Both were started with similar intentions, but wow, their outcomes were wildly different.
And when we run the data through our framework, the points of failure become crystal clear. I mean, just look at the putter mat column. Curiosity, a flat no. The novelty wore off fast. Resilience, nope. Once the streak was broken, it was over. And could it be sustained consistently? Could you keep on going? Another no. The entire system was just too fragile.
This analysis gives us our key insight. The desire to improve was absolutely there. The failure wasn't in the wanting, it was in the architecture of the doing. The putter mat routine lacked structural elasticity. It was rigid, and when life pushed against it, it didn't bend, it just snapped. And this is what success looks like in practice. On one side, you've got a varied golf routine. On the other, a journaling habit. They both succeeded because they share a flexible, resilient DNA. They can adapt to changing energy levels, schedules, and environments.
And this reveals that success is not one size fits all. A walking habit can thrive without a strong craving if it's driven by social connection and flexibility. On the flip side, a journaling habit can succeed without an immediate reward if it's fueled by intense personal curiosity. You see? The system design is what really matters.
So what do we do with all this information? Well, our analysis points to 3 golden rules for engineering habits that are actually built to last.
First, you have to design for flexibility. Your habit needs a plan B so it can bend, not break. Second, actively connect your habit to your curiosity. Don't just do it, explore it. This transforms a chore into a craving. And third, use social leverage. Stop relying on just your own willpower. Build a system that involves others for accountability and support. It's so much more powerful.
All right, now it's your turn. We're going to give you a simple checklist to run a diagnostic on any habit in your life, whether it's one that's thriving or one that's failing.
So take any habit and just ask these 4 questions. First, resilience. What's your comeback plan for a missed day? Second, craving and curiosity. Are you genuinely interested, or is it just another task? Be honest. Third, flexibility. What's the 2-minute version of your habit for a crazy day? And finally, the cue. Is your trigger to start so obvious you can't miss it?
Remember, the state of your habits today is not a judgment on you. It is simply feedback on the systems you've designed. And the great news is, systems can always be redesigned. You are the architect.
So look at your own habit blueprint. It's not a fixed part of who you are. It's a system waiting for your instructions. With this new analytical lens, what's the very first upgrade you're going to make?